Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Lifestyle PA podcast. I'm your host, Beth Ricka, physician assistant, registered dietitian, and lifestyle medicine expert. I help high achieving women over 35 navigate perimenopause with science backed strategies so they can feel strong, focused, and like themselves again. Today, we're talking all about a nutrient that we've heard a lot about, but it still doesn't get nearly enough appreciation: protein. And if you're in your mid or late 30s, 40s, or 50s and feeling like you're gaining weight more easily, you're losing muscle, you're sleeping poorly, or you're just feeling off, this episode is for you. Welcome to the Lifestyle PA podcast, where we talk about all things women's health and lifestyle to help you become the healthiest and happiest version of yourself. Okay, so let's start with why protein matters so much more after 35. So, around age 35 to 40, women begin to experience age-related muscle loss, also known as sarcopenia. You can actually lose about 3 to 8% of your muscle mass per decade if you're not actively working to maintain it. Estrogen supports muscle, and as levels start to dip in perimenopause, so does your ability to maintain that lean tissue. So, this isn't just about staying toned. Muscle is truly your metabolic engine. It helps you burn more calories at rest. It helps you to manage your blood sugar, support joint health, and feel energized. But protein does way more than just support muscle, right? It's also the building block for all of our hormones and neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, enzymes that drive our metabolism, our skin, hair, nails, and crucially, immune cells like antibodies and cytokines that keep us healthy. So when you're under stress, you're sleep deprived, or your hormones are shifting, your immune system and mood regulation both take a hit because of that. And protein is what helps keep you resilient on all of those fronts. So, most women, even though over the past 6 to 12 months, we've had some increased awareness surrounding protein and just how critical it is. But shockingly, statistics are still showing us that most women are under eating protein, especially at breakfast and lunch. So, the RDA, otherwise known as the recommended dietary allowance, you'll see documented as zero point 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. But this is super outdated information, and it's truly the bare minimum to avoid deficiency. It's not the optimal amount for health benefits. So, what studies have been showing is that for optimal health after 35 in women, you really should be aiming for a minimum of 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram. 1 kilogram is 2.2 for pound. That's around 80 to 110 grams per day for the average woman. So then you divide that into 25 to 35 grams per meal for a nice even distribution. Research, this was back in 2015, there was a study that actually showed muscle protein synthesis is maximized when we're hitting that per meal threshold, especially as we age. So sometimes that can sound like a big number, right? Like when I'm saying 25 to 35 or 30 to 40 grams of protein per meal, you're like, how in the world am I supposed to get that? So let's break it down and see, okay, realistically, what does that actually look like? So to give you an example, 3 eggs plus half cup egg whites, a little bit of spinach. That's roughly about 30 grams right there. You can take Greek yogurt plus 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds or chia seeds or basil seeds and throw some berries in there. There's your 25 to 30 grams right there. 4 ounces of grilled salmon with a little bit of quinoa and veggies, easy 35 grams. Or for easy on the go options, protein smoothie with a high quality, clean protein powder. Throw in a tablespoon of nut butter and a little bit of fruit. There's roughly 30 grams right there. And then, say for lunch or dinner, 3 ounces of chicken, a quarter to a half a cup of lentils with some roasted veggies. About 30 grams is right there. So it's easier than you think. You just have to be intentional about it. So I always have my clients start building meals around your protein. The rest becomes so easy and quickly becomes second nature. So even if you are plant based, it's totally doable. You just need to be a little bit more intentional about it and can easily incorporate things like tofu, edamame, lentils, beans, and protein powders to help meet those requirements for you. So now let's talk about the relationship with protein and strength training, because here's where protein really shines when you pair it with resistance training. So strength training is the stimulus your muscles need. Protein is the material to support that growth. Without the signal from lifting weights, protein still helps a little bit, but it doesn't deliver the same body composition or metabolic payoff at all. So when women over 35 combine strength training with optimal protein intake, that's when we see them develop the ability to preserve and build lean muscle. They are burning more fat, especially around that midsection. They're improving their insulin sensitivity. And studies have shown that patients do have improved mood, energy, and confidence when you pair protein with strength training. There was a study that showed women on a higher protein diet lost more body fat and preserved more lean mass, even without the calorie restriction. So, another big game changer is, which I don't think receives the attention it deserves, is the role of protein in your immune function, mood, sleep, and weight loss, like we talked about. So, what I want to touch upon is 4 more of these areas where protein is beneficial. So, first, let's start with immune function. Protein is what provides the raw material for your antibodies, cytokines, and T cells. Those are the front lines of your immune system. So if you're having low protein intake, you likely have impaired immune defense. There was a research study in Nutrients done that really highlights how well amino acids like glutamine and arginine support immune cell activation and your gut barrier function. That is the root of your immune system. So think about it. If you're frequently run down or catching every bug going around, up your protein. It really could be part of the missing link there. Again, everything is multifactorial, but it tends to be a big factor there. And then our mood, right? So over 35, that's definitely one of the changes that the majority of us notice. And your mood is built on neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are made from amino acids. So like tryptophan is the precursor for serotonin, and tyrosine is the precursor for dopamine. So if you've discovered that you've been feeling snappy, anxious, or foggy, it might not be just hormones, right? It could be low protein because you're not getting enough of those precursors to help support that. Studies in the past have linked higher protein diets with improved mood and cognitive function, especially under stress. So then another major one, sleep. So protein does affect sleep. I know you're like, where are you going with this, Beth? Where's the relationship there? So certain amino acids support melatonin and serotonin production, 2 key elements for quality of sleep, right? Plus, stable blood sugar overnight means fewer wake ups at that 2 to 3 a.m. mark. So I always encourage my clients to focus on having a protein-rich dinner, or if they're truly hungry, not just out of habit or emotional or stress eating, having a small protein snack before bed has shown to help with a deeper, more restorative sleep. And new research is emerging that it actually helps with increasing lean body mass as well. And then, so lastly, which we've talked all about, but really can't go without saying, is the relationship with protein and weight loss. So why? What is the relationship there? So protein increases satiety, or how full you're feeling. It supports fat loss over muscle loss, and it helps to stabilize that blood sugar. It also has the highest thermic effect of all macronutrients. What that means is your body burns more calories just digesting it just breaking down that protein over carbs burns more calories. So a higher protein diet alone can increase caloric burn by 80 to 100 calories a day without doing anything else, controlled for everything else. So now let's talk about some common mistakes and kind of bust a few myths here relating to protein, right? So one common thought can be, oh, well, I don't want to look like a bodybuilder. Too much protein will bulk me up. That's not true. It actually helps you to stay lean, strong, and metabolically active. A second one that I hear a lot is, oh, well, I'm getting enough protein. I snack on nuts and chia seeds, and those are great healthy fats with a little bit of protein thrown in, but they're not complete protein sources. And by complete, I mean they have all of the essential and non-essential amino acids. So you need more robust, high quality protein from food or high quality supplements to help meet your needs. And then sometimes I hear from people, well, I'm worried that high protein will be too much on my kidneys, right? This is a major myth for healthy people. Decades of research has shown that there is absolutely no harm in higher protein intakes unless you already have established kidney disease. So here's what I want you to try. Just some actionable, reasonable steps to trial here. So just track your protein for one day because you might be shocked at just how low it is. Try and prioritize your protein at breakfast. It truly sets your energy, your blood sugar, and cravings for the whole day. So set yourself up for success. Really aim for minimum 25 to 35 grams per meal, and definitely don't skip protein post-workout. That's really going to help build that lean body mass. And finally, if you're ready for some structure, personalization, support, and real results, this is exactly what we cover in the lifestyle program. You'll learn how to build powerful perimenopause-friendly meals that work for you and your lifestyle and your hormones, not against it, because we want this to be sustainable. So if you're interested, the link to learn more about that is right below in the show notes, or you can send me a message on Instagram because I would love to chat further with you. I always say it's a no pressure conversation. I want to make sure you're a great fit for the program too. So you'll at least walk away with some clarity and guidance on what your next step could be for you to see some improvement. So thank you so much for tuning in to the Lifestyle PA podcast today. If this episode gave you clarity or just like an aha moment, send it to a friend who needs it and make sure you're subscribed for next week's episode. Remember, you are not broken. You are just in a different season of life. And protein is one of the most powerful tools in your toolbox. Use it intentionally and watch how everything starts to shift. So until next time, stay strong and stay grounded. You're built for more, and I'm here to help you with that. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next week. Thanks so much for listening to the Lifestyle PA. I hope you're leaving today's episode feeling empowered and supported on your health journey. If you're ready to take the next step and make real, lasting changes, I would love to invite you to join my 3-month lifestyle program. It's designed specifically for women navigating this season of hormonal and metabolic changes, focused on personalized, sustainable nutrition, movement, sleep, stress, and mindset. Head to thelifestylepa.org or message me on Instagram at _lifestyle_PA to learn more and reserve your spot. And remember, it's the small steps that lead to the big changes. So start with one today.